let's get started. Sit yourself down, cross-legged or on your knees. And sitting up straight from the lower back, so tilting the pelvis forward ever so slightly, finding the natural lumbar curve, gently drawing the belly in, lifting the sternum straight up, shoulders down and back, rising up through the crown of the head. And then close your eyes, resting your hands gently on your legs. And take a few moments to arrive in your body, arrive in this moment. Noticing any moods or emotions that you're bringing with you, any areas of tension or pain in the body. Not to judge it or criticize it, not even to change it, but just to notice with a sense of kindness and compassion for where you are today. And then we begin with a quick body scan, bringing the awareness down into the toes and the feet, the ankles, the shins and the calves. Bringing the awareness into the knees and the thighs, into the pelvis, feeling the weight of the sitting bones, resting down, and then bringing your awareness up through your torso, perhaps lifting the chest a little more as you do so, drawing the shoulders down and back, bringing the awareness down through the upper arms and elbows, to the forearms, wrists and hands, and feeling the contact between your hands and your legs. And then bringing the awareness into your neck and head, relaxing all the muscles of the face, jaw softened, tongue relaxed, lower lip, upper lip, nose and cheeks relaxed. Relaxing the eyes, the eyelids, eyebrows and forehead. And then we take 3 deep intentional breaths together, inhaling right down deep into the belly, really using the diaphragm. And exhaling again, feeling the sitting bones dropping down. And inhale, breathing out into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And exhaling, feeling the shoulders relax down and back. And one more time, inhaling right down deep into the belly, out into the sides, the back of the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the lungs. And exhale, let it go. Let your day so far go. And perhaps set an intention to be here present with yourself for the next hour, and to approach the practice with this sense of curiosity and kindness. And then open your eyes, interlace your hands in front of you, take a breath in, and breathing out, push the palms away. Tips of the thumbs touching, little fingers crossed, draw the belly in, take another inhale. And as you breathe out, slowly start to move the arms in the shoulder sockets, keeping that low belly drawing in, stabilizing the torso, and finding the movement in the shoulders. So if the shoulders are tight, perhaps not coming so far, but really prioritizing not going into a back bend, keeping the torso stable, and feeling that stretch in the shoulder joints. And then from here, start to lift up out of the waist, using the arms to elongate the torso, stretching the sides of the body. And then start to squeeze the upper arms in towards the ears as you resist away with the palms. Heels of the hands going flat up towards the ceiling. And the breath flowing in and out through the nose, smooth, even. Slowly release the arms, release the hands. Stretch your legs out in front of you if you're in a cross-legged position, and cross them the other way. If you're kneeling, you can stay where you are. Again, sitting upright from the lower back. So tilting the pelvis forwards, drawing the belly in, lifting the chest. Roll the shoulders down and back and rest the hands gently on your legs. Really rising up here through the crown of the head, keeping the sternum, the chest bone lifted. And then interlace the hands the other way, so with the less dominant thumb on top. Take a breath in and breathing out, push the palms away, tips of the thumbs touching, little fingers crossed. Arms are straight, draw the belly in, stabilize the torso, take another breath in, and then moving on the out breath, slowly and mindfully, start to bring the arms up, perhaps finding you've got a little bit more range in this second go. Once you've reached your full extension, start to lift up out of the waist, using the arms to lengthen the torso, feeling that stretch from hip to armpits to wrists, perhaps feeling more of a stretch on one side than the other if one side is a little bit tighter. Keeping the breath flowing, squeeze the arms in towards the ears, resisting away with the heels of the hands. Stretch up one more time, and then slowly release the hands and release the legs, and make your way up to a standing position. So stand with the big toes touching, and start to bring the awareness down into the soles of the feet, and ground down through the heel of the right foot, pick the ball of the foot up and stretch it forwards. Ground down through the heel of the left foot, pick up the ball of the foot, stretch it forwards, spread the toes nice and wide. And then lift up all your toes together and see if you can feel the sense of how this engages the inner arch of the foot. So you can see when I lift up my toes, it also lifts the inner arch. And then see if you can keep that engagement in the inner arch and just allow the toes to come down and feel that sense of lift in the arch of the foot. And that sense of lift is what you're going for when we're in the wide leg standing postures. Bring the body weight back so that the hips are over the heels, engage the quadriceps, lift the front of the pelvis, squeeze the glutes, draw the belly in, lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and extend the fingers down towards the floor, rising up through the crown of the head. This is Tadasana, mountain pose, foundation of all the standing postures. And then maintaining that alignment, take a breath in and breathing out, move the arms out to the side, really stretching across the front of the chest here and the upper back, spreading the fingers as wide as possible. Long fingers, wide palms, but still the shoulders relax down away from the ears here. Take another breath in, turning the arms in the shoulder sockets, and then breathing out, start to move the arms up next to the ears. And then again here, really lift up as much as possible. So using the arms to lengthen the torso again, biceps by the ears, really stretching up, fingers are still active, long fingers, wide palms, body weight still back in the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly in, breath flowing. Really lengthening the spine as much as possible, taking up really your full height here. And then keeping that height, allow the arms to come down and release. Bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, and step or hop to a wide stride for the second warrior pose. 2 heels in one line, body weight back on the heels. Engage the quadriceps, push the weight to the outside of the feet, see if you can start to find that sense of arches lifting already. Lift the front of the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, draw the belly in and up, and then inhale the arms out to the side. Turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out 90 degrees, inside edge of the right foot parallel with the long edge of the mat. 4 corners of the torso still facing pretty much the front. Inhale, lift the chest, take the mind to the back foot, the left foot, really keep that anchor there as you exhale, sitting down slowly towards the right, but really resisting back with this left leg, keeping it really strong and this quadricep engaged and active. Torso still remains directly above the hips, so we're not leaning out to the right. And then have a look down at your right knee and push it out towards the little toe side of the foot so that you've got this external rotation of the right leg. Draw the belly in and up, lift the chest, relax the shoulders down, and then turn your head to look along your right arm. Long fingers, wide palms, again stretching across the chest and the upper back, just as we were doing in mountain pose. Take your mind to the back leg again. Can you push the heel down, lift the inner arch of the foot up? In fact, you can even experiment doing with what we were doing in mountain pose. So see if you can lift up the toes of that left foot and feel that lift in the inner arch, and then just allow the toes to come down. Again, really active with that back leg. See if you can sit down a little bit more to the right as the hips start to warm and open, keeping the belly drawing in and the chest lifted, and gazing at a single point. Okay, bring the gaze to the front, straighten your right leg, turn the right foot round, relax your arms for a moment, check you've still got 2 heels in one line, body weight back on the heels, engage the quadriceps, belly in, chest lifted. Inhale, outstretch the arms again, turn the right foot in and the left foot out 90 degrees, inside edge of the foot parallel with the long edge of the mat, 4 corners of the torso still facing the front. Active through this right leg now, really push the heel down, engage that quadricep and keep it active as you inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, sitting down slowly to the left, but really resisting back with this right leg, keeping it really strong and anchored. Have a look down now at your left knee, push the knee towards the little toe side of the foot, find that external rotation, draw the belly in, lift the chest, shoulders down away from your ears, and then turn your head to look along your left arm. Keeping the breath flowing, gazing at a single point, extending through to the fingers, stretching those fingers away, feeling that stretch across your chest and upper back. And then again, you can experiment with the toes of that back foot, lifting the toes slightly, feeling the lift in the inner arch, and then just allowing them to come down. Engage that right quadricep again, really anchoring back with the right leg as you sit down a little bit more towards the left. Keep the belly drawing in, chest lifted, breathing smoothly. Sit down one more time. And then bring the gaze to the front. Straighten your left leg, turn the foot round, and step or hop back to your mountain pose. Spread your toes nice and wide, body weight back, chest lifted, roll the shoulders down and back. Hands on hips, bend your knees, step or hop to a wide stride for the, for extended side angle pose. Had a little brain moment there. Okay, turn your left foot in slightly and your right foot out all the way, inside edge of the foot parallel, body facing the front. With the hands on the hips, draw the elbows back, open across the chest. We're going to go in and out of this a few times with the breath. So we're going to inhale, lifting the chest, keeping, as always, this back leg really strong. So push that heel down, engage the quadricep before we go anywhere. And then we're going to exhale down, bending the knee, keeping this leg strong, and inhaling back up. Exhaling down, have a look down, check you can see your big toe. If not, make sure that you're working the knee to the little toe side of the foot as you sit down. And make sure the body stays vertical above the hips. So this is just a movement in the leg. Everything else is staying really still and isolated. And of course, really focus here on this back leg. So as you sit down towards the right, this left leg should be really strong, resisting back, engaging that quadricep, really anchoring down with the heel as you do these bending movements. Keeping the belly drawing in, chest lifting up, shoulders away from the ears. And we'll do just a couple more. And then the next time that you're down, you can stay down. So hopefully that will have warmed the hip a little bit more than usual, and you can find a little bit more depth. I'm a little bit wide in my stance. I'm just going to adjust that in a little bit. Okay, probably your thigh is burning and you're like, can you just stop talking and get on with the pose? Sure, I will. Draw the belly in and bring your elbow to your knee. Use that elbow to push the knee back, and then start to turn the tummy and the chest up towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears at this point, and then take the top arm up and over, extending the fingers down towards the floor. And you can either keep your elbow on your knee or bring it just behind the foot, fingertips on the floor without any weight through the hands. If you've got the hand down, you can push the knee back into the elbow, otherwise using the elbow to push the knee back. Again, turning the tummy, the chest, and finally the head up towards the ceiling, stretching those fingertips away, keeping the breath flowing. And then bring the gaze to the front, keep the knee bent, come up through warrior two, and then straighten that leg and turn the foot around. Relax your arms for a moment. Check you've still got two heels in one line. Body weight back over the heels, kneecaps lifted, lifts the front of the pelvis, belly in, hands on hips, drawing the elbows back. And now your right foot in slightly, left foot out 90 degrees, inside edge of the foot, parallel with the long edge of the mat. Mind to the right foot now, push the heel down, engage the quadricep, draw the belly in, inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, bend the left knee, inhaling back up and exhaling down. So again, as we're doing this now on the second side, really emphasize on this back leg, so keeping that heel really anchored down, keeping this quadricep engaged, the kneecap lifted. On the left leg, as you're bending, make sure that you can see your big toe, and if not, keeping the knee pushing out to the little toe side of the foot, so that you can get that external rotation. Torso is remaining exactly above the hips, so everything here is still and isolated. It's just this leg and the hip that is doing the work, keeping the belly drawing in, elbows back, chest lifted. And again, really active through this standing leg. Okay, and next time you're down there, you can remain down, bring the elbow onto the knee. Again, use the elbow to push the knee back, shoulders away from the ears, nice long open chest here. Draw the belly in, start to turn the tummy and the chest up towards the ceiling. Take the top arm up and over, palm facing down, and extend the fingertips away, stretching down the whole right side of the body. Either leave your hand here or bring it down behind the foot, fingertips on the floor, pushing the knee back into the arm. Or if you've got your elbow on your knee, use the elbow to push the knee back. Really active through that right leg, belly in, turning tummy and chest up towards the ceiling, extending through the fingertips, keeping the breath flowing. And then gaze to the front, come up through warrior two, and then straighten your leg. Turn your feet round and step or hop back to your mountain pose. Spread your toes, body weight back, lift the chest, and extend the fingers down towards the floor. And breathe. Okay, step the feet to medium stride for your warrior one. So hands on hips, draw the elbows back, two heels in one line, body weight back, lift the kneecaps, and we'll turn to the right. So pick up the left toes, turn them in, the right toe, no, right heel, turn it out, and right foot turns out all the way. Apologies for my confusion. And then start to turn the hips to the right side, bringing this left hip forwards, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the inner thighs together so that you can bring the points of the hips facing towards the front. Really active through this back foot, push the heel down, engage this quadricep. You should already be feeling a little bit of a stretch down the back of that calf. And again, squeeze that glute, trying to tuck the tailbone under to lengthen the lower back here. Inhale, take the arms up, palms facing in towards each other. Stretch out, stretch up out of the waist, really push that back heel down, and then bend your right knee as much as you can without losing that strong anchor with your left heel. Again, squeeze the inner thighs together, bringing the left hip around a little bit more, squeezing that left glute, draw the belly in, lift up out of the waist. And then from here, either holding it here with the spine in a neutral position, or if you want to take it into a back bend, lift up out of the waist and start to trace the fingers back along the ceiling. Keeping the breath flowing, working the arms back, opening the shoulders. See if you can bend your front knee a little bit more. And then return your spine to neutral. See if you can bring the back hip forward a little bit more, reset that, draw the belly in, start to lean forwards over your front leg, transferring the weight And then bringing the back leg up. I'm too close to my wall, so I'm gonna bring my hands onto hips with elbows back. You can also do this if you like, or keep the arms up by the ears. And then find that internal rotation of the left leg, turning the toes down towards the floor, drawing the belly in, leg up more, body down more. If your hands are on the hips, drawing the elbows back to keep the chest open. And then slowly, or not so slowly in my case, bringing the back foot down to land in your warrior one. Turn the feet round, come to face the front, body weight back, kneecaps lifted, draw the belly in, chest lifted, and we go to the other side. So turn your right foot in a lot and the left foot out all the way, inside edge of the foot facing the front, and then bring the hips round, squeezing the inner thighs together, bringing the hip points to face the front. Back leg really active, so push the heel down, engage this quadricep, push it back as you squeeze now the right glute, lengthening the lower back, trying to tuck the tailbone a little bit. Draw the belly in and inhale, take the arms up above the head, lift up out of the waist, and then bend your left knee. Keeping that right foot really anchored, pushing the heel down, pushing the thigh back. And again, seeing if you can squeeze the inner thighs together and bring that hip round to the front, squaring the hips with the narrow edge of your mat. From here, you can either hold it or take it into a back bend, lifting up out of the waist and then tracing the fingers slowly along the ceiling. Gazing at a single point, seeing if you can bend that front knee a little bit more. Drawing the arms back. And then bring your upper body to a neutral position. Reset, squeeze the inner thighs together again. And then start to lay the body forwards over the front leg. Lift the back leg up. I'm going to bring my hands onto my hips again so I'm even. You can also keep them out by the ears, drawing the belly in, turning the right toes down towards the floor, finding the internal rotation of the leg. Lift the leg up, bring the body down more. If the hands are on the hips, drawing the elbows back, gazing at a single point. And then slowly come back to your warrior one, straighten your left leg, turn your feet round, and step back to your mountain pose. Spread the toes, body weight back, chest lifted, and extend the fingers down towards the floor. And breathe. Okay, step the feet to a, that's a bit big, hip width distance for chair pose. Spreading the toes nice and wide so you can feel that lift in the inner arch of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the front of the pelvis. Inhale, take the arms up overhead or leave them on your hips, stretching up out of the waist, and then sitting down, keeping the knees tracking directly over the ankles, keeping the body weight back in the heels, drawing the belly strongly in towards the spine, and then lifting the chest, drawing the arms back, really opening the upper back here, seeing if you can sit down a little bit more, extend those fingers away, lift the chest up one more, sit down one more, and then coming all the way up, bringing the arms down, rest for a moment in mountain pose, body weight back, kneecaps lifted, chest lifted, Extend the fingers down. And then again, with feet together, spread the toes nice and wide. Inhale, lift the arms up, stretch up, draw the belly in, and then sit down with the knees and feet together, drawing the belly strongly towards the spine, lifting the chest up, drawing the arms back, extending through to the fingertips, keeping the breath flowing. Sit down a little bit more. Lift the chest a little bit more, keep that belly drawing in. And then standing up all the way. Bring the arms down and extend the fingers down towards the floor. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my feet. You're going to bring your feet to a hip distance, and then we'll have a go at the Bikram style chair pose. So we're going to bring the arms up in line with the shoulders. Obviously nice, straight, strong arms here, extending through to the fingertips. And then you're going to come up right onto the top of your toes. So really pushing the heels as far forward as you can, drawing the belly in. And then slowly you're going to sit down, keeping that lift in the arches, coming down to a chair position on your toes. Really gazing at a single point here, pushing the arches up, shoulders away from the ears, belly in, and breathing here. See if you can sit down a little bit more. And then if possible, staying all the way up, coming back up. Oh, I'm wobbling. And then, no, I lost it. And then with control, hopefully releasing down. Okay, let's try that one more time, since the first time can be, I know, quite difficult for people, so it's hard to hold for a very long time. So if possible, I didn't demonstrate it very well that time, but you're going to go into it and then you're going to come out back into this position and then allow your heels to come down. It is possible. Okay, inhale, take the arms up, find your nice mountain pose position, so your body weight's back over the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly's in, shoulders down away from your ears. Gaze at a single point and lift up all the way onto your toes, and then slowly, keeping that full extension of the feet, start to come down as far as you can, really keeping up on those tippy toes, belly drawing in, shoulders away from the ears, long fingers, gazing at a single point. Can you sit down another inch? And then come all the way up. Lose your balance probably, and then bring the heels down. Okay. Step your feet together. Spread your toes, body weight back, lift the chest, and extend the fingers down towards the floor. Okay, hands on hips, step or hop to a wide stride for a wide-legged forward bend. Toes slightly in, body weight back. See if you can find that external rotation of the feet, pushing the outside edge of the feet down, lifting the arches up, lift the quadriceps, hands on hips, draw the belly in, inhale, lift up out of the waist, lengthen the front of your body and keep that length as you turn from the pelvis, not rounding the back at all. So here, when you bring your hands here, your lower back should be in a concave position, drawing the elbows back, coming down as far as you can without rounding the back. Draw the belly in, engage these quadriceps again, keeping the breath flowing, using the back muscles to support the weight of the torso here. Really engage these quadriceps And then bring the fingertips to the floor. If this is impossible without rounding your back, you can walk your hands forwards a lot. I know you won't be able to see my hands at this point, but walk your hands forwards a lot so you're in a kind of wide-legged forward bend, wide-legged downward dog is what I mean. If this is not available for you with the hands closer, and that should enable you to have the back in a bit more of a neutral position. And then again here, reactivate through the legs, so push those heels down, engage the quadriceps, draw the belly in, and lengthen the front of the body. So you can see I'm in a back bend here, lift the chest as you bring the lowest rib down. So we're not aiming the chest to the floor, we're not aiming the head to the floor. It's as if you're trying to keep your chest and head up as you just bring the lowest rib just an inch or so further towards the floor, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So really finding the stretch in the back of the legs, not rounding through the spine. You can hold it here, or if it's appropriate for you, you can bring the hands down to flat and start to walk them back a little bit, finding what's an appropriate stretch for you. Keep the belly drawing in. And really, as you come down, it's that same thing of trying to keep the chest and the head up a little bit and just working that lowest rib a little bit closer to the floor. Learning to find the movement in the pelvis rather than in the back. Okay, wherever you are, come back onto your fingertips and you can just heel toe the feet in a little bit until such as a time you will be able to stand up a little bit more easy. Take a couple of deep breaths, bring the hands onto the hips, draw the belly towards the spine, and inhale, come all the way up and step your feet back together, spreading the toes, body weight back, find your mountain pose, breathe. Okay, come to the top edge of your mat for a regular forward bend, narrow leg forward bend. Feet in a generous hip distance, unless you're very long in the hamstrings, and the closer your legs are together, the more challenging it will be. Turn the toes in slightly so that the outside edges of the feet are parallel, and now we're going for a little bit of an inwards rotation of the thighs. Draw the belly in, inhale, lift the chest, take the arms up above the head, and exhaling, coming down as far as you can without rounding the spine. Inhaling back up, squeeze the glutes at the top, and exhaling down. Again, if you need to bring your hands to your hips for this, that's absolutely fine. But if you do have your arms up by the ears, see if you can really keep them by the ears. So as we come down, they want to kind of droop down, but really see if you can keep them next to the ears, touching the ears, challenging yourself to maintain that position, drawing the belly in, squeezing the glutes at the top, lifting up out of the waist at the top, so really lengthening the body, keeping that long front body, no rounding. And then next time you're at your down position, bend your knees and let your body relax down, bending your knees as much as you need to get the stomach onto the thighs. And then something that I like to do here, so just have a peek at the screen, is with the knees quite bent, actually to lift the rib cage and try and bring your lowest rib a little bit closer to your knees. And you'll feel that that kind of lengthens you forwards even more so that you can protect the back and take the stretch into
and the back of the legs. So relaxing the head now, give it a shake and a little nod, allowing the crown of the head to draw down to the floor and the breath to lengthen here. And then keeping your stomach on your thighs, you can just see if you can find a little bit of lift here. It's a really tiny movement, keeping stomach on thighs, not allowing any space to come there, and just lifting the hips maybe a centimetre or two to find that stretch in the back of the legs. Okay, and then up to you, you can either bring the hands onto the hips and come up with a flat back as we usually do, or if you prefer to roll up through the vertebrae, you can do so and come back to a standing position. And then bring your hands on your hips and your feet together, and we're going to take the right leg up into a 90-degree position and then shoot it back and come into a long lunge. Bring the knee down to gently touch the floor and then spring back up to your lifted leg. Bring that leg down, we'll go to the other side. So lift the left knee up, shoot it back into a long lunge, come down, just touching the floor with that knee, come back to your standing leg position. Again with the right leg, lift the leg up, bring it back, come down, return to your start. And the left leg. Okay, one more like that on each side. So the right leg comes up, shoot it back, come down, back to the start. And with the left leg, shoot it back, come down, back to the start. Okay, and then we're gonna add some arms into that and hold the positions a little bit more. So lifting again the right leg up, draw the belly in, lift the chest, bring that leg back and allow the knee to come down. This time untuck the back toes so that you can sink down into this lunge a little bit more. I'm going to take the right arm up and lean over to the left, stretching the right side of the body here. And then bring the arm down, return it to the hip, tuck your right toes, come back to the high lunge and come back to the lifted leg position. Bring the foot down, other side. Left knee up, draw the belly in, lift the chest, step that leg back, drop the knee, untuck the toe and sink forwards into this lunge a little bit. Take the left arm up, stretch up out of the waist and then lean over to the right side, stretching now the left side of the body. Come back to neutral, hand on hip, tuck your left toe, pick up the knee and come back to your balancing position and rest it down. One more time like that on each side. So lift up the right knee, draw the belly in, lift the chest, shoot the leg back, bring the knee down, untuck the toe, sinking down into that lunge, draw the belly in, inhale the right arm up by the ear, lengthen up out of the waist, lean over to the left, stretching the right side of the body. Spine back to neutral, hand on hip, Tuck your right toe, lift up the knee, come forwards to your balancing position and bring that leg down. And then left leg up, last time, draw the belly in, lift the chest, shoot the leg back, bring the knee down, untuck the toes, sinking forwards into that lunge, draw the belly in, inhale the left arm up, lift up out of the waist, and then lean over to the right, stretching now the left side of the body. Return the spine to neutral, hands on hips, tuck the toe, lift up that leg, and come back to your one-legged balance and bring the leg down. Okay, again, feet hip distance, inhale, lift up out of the waist, draw the elbows back, come forwards with a long front body, bending the knees when you need to, bring the hands down onto the floor, and come back to your plank position. Spread the fingers nice and wide, gripping the floor a little bit, push the floor away, protracting the shoulder blades, drawing the belly in towards the spine, squeezing the glutes, so turning the tailbone down, finding that really strong position with the abdominal muscles and the glutes, supporting the core of the body, engaging the quadriceps, legs are strong, shoulders are away from your ears, gazing at a single point with a smile on your face, and keeping the breath flowing. And then slowly push your way back to a down dog, bending the knees a lot, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling, finding that neutral spine. Relax the head again, maybe give it a bit of a shake. And if you like, you can walk out the legs a little bit, bending one knee and the other knee. And then finding stillness. And everyone bend your knees, turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then maybe straightening the leg a little bit more, legs a little bit more. Really pushing the floor away with the hands. See if you can push the upper body back towards the legs using the arms. And then bring your knees down, toes together, relax in child's pose. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead. Bring the arms back, whichever feels good for you. And then draw the belly in and start to roll yourself up. So we're going to do the usual little flow that we do, but I'm going to just show you a couple of options if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. So obviously usually we go plank to chaturanga, up dog to down dog. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, so just watch one round, you can come down to your chaturanga, go back up to your plank, down to your chaturanga, and then to your up dog, back to your chaturanga, to your up dog, and then to your down dog. And then in down dog you can do this down dog push up where you maintain the what do you call it, alignment of your upper body, and just allow the arms to come out towards the side and the head towards the floor like this. And then you can, once you've done one of those, continue with that more advanced pattern where you come in and out of each of the positions before going to the next one. Okay, so let's all go in together. Obviously, you can stick with the regular version of just going through the movements if that's more than enough for you. Everyone starting in a all fours position, hands underneath the shoulders, drawing the belly in, pushing the floor away, tuck the toes under, drop the hips back towards the heels, relax the head completely. Take a breath in and really active through the arms, push the floor away already, lift the hips up, keeping the upper body pushing back. And then let's do, if you're on the regular ones, do like 7 repetitions, let's say, and if you're doing the harder ones, maybe just 5 because they're going to take a bit longer. And I won't talk through it because it will get confusing if you're doing different things. But going ahead now when you're ready with whichever option you want to be on. And then wherever you're on, just finishing the last round in a downward dog, bringing the knees wide, toes together, and relaxing the forehead down, breathing into the back of the body. And then drawing your belly in and working your way back up to a kneeling position. It is, oh my goodness, where has the time gone? It is nearly time for the end of the class. Okay, we better come over onto our back sides. Oh, I haven't managed to fit as much in as usual. Anyway, so come over onto your backs. Let's just relax for a moment in a supine Baddha Konasana. You can bring the feet further away if it's difficult for you, or closer together. You can also, if you've got a couple of cushions or books or anything, it can be nice to support under the knees if it feels like a lot on the hips. And then just rest your hands on your low belly and just lift your head slightly, lengthen the back of the neck, draw the shoulder blades down underneath you, just broaden across the chest here. And lengthening the breath. Allowing the floor to support you. Noticing if there's any areas of muscles that are still trying to Hold on. And then bring the knees together, draw the knees in towards the chest. You just roll from side to side, massaging over the lower back if that feels good. And then slowly just allowing that rocking to get smaller and smaller, coming back to stillness in the center. Bring the feet down flat on the floor, draw the shoulder blades down underneath your heart, lengthen the back of the neck, lift the hips, lengthen the lower back, bring the palms facing up. Towards the ceiling, lengthen the legs away, allow the feet to fall out to the side, and make any final adjustments so that you can be comfortable in your Shavasana for the next few minutes. Bringing the awareness down into the toes, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet and the ankles. Bring your awareness into your shins and calves, into the knees and the thighs, into the hips. Bringing the awareness up through the torso, the lower back, middle back and upper back, the abdomen, navel, chest. Bring the awareness into the shoulders, upper arms and elbows, forearms, wrists and hands. Relaxing the thumbs, the fingers. And then bring your awareness into the neck and the head, relaxing all the facial muscles, allowing the jaw to soften, relaxing the lips and the nose, the cheeks, allowing the eyes to soften, the eyebrows and the forehead to relax. And feel yourself being supported by the earth, the contact between your body and the floor, movement of the air, moving past your nostrils as you breathe, the belly rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Perhaps noticing the slight pause in between the breath. So you inhale, there's a pause, and then you exhale, and there's a pause. Not forcing it or trying to hold the breath, but just noticing that moment, however short, before the tide of the breath turns. And if you want to stay in Shavasana, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can start to take some deeper, fuller breaths. Breathing down into the belly. Start to bring some movement into the toes and the fingers. And when you're ready to move, you can draw your legs up and make your way back to seated position. Sit cross-legged or on your knees, sitting up straight one last time, resting your hands on your legs. Roll the shoulders down and back, lift the chest. Close your eyes. And if you wish to, you can bring your hands into a prayer position, resting the thumbs on the sternum. Bow your chin towards your chest. Give thanks. Notice how you feel. And perhaps set an intention to take a little bit of this practice with you into the rest of your day. And raise your head and open your eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me.